This is a story about a new beginning. A workbench is the start of every project's life, even the mini ones. I've cut the pieces to size and I glued two pieces together. I lost the footage of the gluing, but after they came out of the clamps, I decided to biscuit joint them together. Probably wasn't necessary considering how thick and robust the joint is anyway. Throughout the project, I didn't buy any timber. This was all gifted from family members and workers that have been on job sites throughout my house. So I decided to use a piece of Merbu, and I'm pretty sure Tassie Oak was the top. So after I cleaned up the edges on the front, on the Tassie Oak top, I routed out a spot for a vise to go, because a vise is very needed for any shop project to hold timber and to just get more accurate and clamping surfaces. After doing test fits for the legs, I decided to disassemble the vise once again to get everything sanded and to make sure everything was clean on the surface. I dropped the piece of sanding because it wasn't secured to my table, but that happens in basically every project. Something doesn't go completely right. So after doing mass amounts of sanding, I decided to re-put on the faceplate for the vise, which will come up in hopefully just a second. And I added two screws because it was coming out from the top of the board, which isn't the best. As you can see, I'm countersinking the holes for the screws, and then it made it lay flat on the top because I didn't get the vise recess accurate enough. So after this was more sanding after taking out the screw, and then I sanded everything to make sure it was as flat as I could get it from shoddy cuts, and then trying to cut flush everything, which was a bit of a hassle because I clamped it too low on my big workbench. So after that, I flushed up everything and put the vise back together. I did the same for the legs and then screwed the legs back on. After the final sanding, I applied a couple coats of Danish oil, and it is such a great finish because it really brings out the grain and color of both timbers. I pre-finished the top beforehand because I wanted to see how it looked, but seeing that, it really brought out a new life to these old pieces of timber. And yeah, it was just a great process to do because you see the finished project coming together, like it actually getting finished. So after that, it was done. the mini workbench was done, and no, it's nowhere near perfect. But when is any project ever perfect in woodwork? You gotta live with the choices that you do, and if you make a mistake, you got to somehow figure out how to fix a mistake. It happened a couple times throughout the project, and I fixed the mistakes that came up. A lot was done by sanding, but anyway, after all the Danish was applied, the project was finished, and then I could move on to the next projects that would require me to use this bench in the future, which I'm really looking forward to. So enjoy the rest of the footage, just finishing it, and then a little bit of cinematography to get the final shots. And yeah.